What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
What, about 750,000?
About 8 million.
8 million.
As an executive, it was extremely high.
I would say in excess of 2 million.
What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
I went into the construction field. So I got houses, build houses, stuff like that.
Finance.
Commercial real estate.
Are you a business owner?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How many assets under management do you currently have right now?
It's probably close to $1 billion worth of assets.
What's the blueprint that you would say that is needed to become a millionaire and really get serious about becoming financially free?
That's a fantastic question.
We just landed in Miami, Florida, and we're going all around the fashion district asking multimillionaires and luxury shoppers how they became successful. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
So I'm a surgeon. I went into healthcare. I was very close to my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, who's from Valencia, Spain. And I went to see a hand surgeon with her when I was 8 years old. So that was a turning point for me. And I'm a hand surgeon.
What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
Oh, gosh. I mean, all told, I've owned surgery centers and things like that. So, I would say in excess of 2 million.
That's incredible.
It is incredible, but not because I'm getting paid that way to do my surgeries, because I was smart enough to say I'm going to own part of the place I do the surgery center, and now I have a network of orthopedic walk-in centers. So that was the business I was alluding to, and that's called Ortho Now.
How are you able to go from making 6 to 7 figures?
That's actually easy. It's working for myself. The problem is, whether it be healthcare or if you're an attorney or an accountant, you're never going to do that if you're working for a big firm. They're making money off you, right? Which is fine. And some people may want that. They don't want the headaches, right? The business headaches, which I've had. But I learned early on that I've got to be in my own practice. I've got to own all the components of it, own the real estate, very important also, right? Try not to rent, try not to lease, try to own the real estate, because that in and of it, now I'm actually selling my surgery center real estate now. I bought it 15 years ago, I built it out, and now I'm selling it. So now I'm at the point in my life where, I'm traveling a lot.
Yeah.
My kids are getting older, and we're going to enjoy the fruits of that labor.
To be able to make 7 figures in today's world, that's not easy. What has been the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your lifetime?
The power of compounding interest. So early on, you make sure that you invest and you allow the money to work for you. And one thing I'm trying to teach my son in a place like this, these things are nice, but I've always been very good about not spending an excessive amount of money when I can buy something comparable for much less. I mean, at some point you can splurge, right? But when you're younger, be very judicious with your money.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. I really appreciate you taking the time.
guys.
That's me.
You see, he's all the time send me. He all the time send me the videos, your interviews. You are the best. We love you from Argentina.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you. Man, that was a super cool interaction. That was a fan from Argentina that recognized us doing interviews out in Miami. He pulled up the DM of his friend sending him a DM, so pretty crazy that we ran into a fan out in Miami. You never know where you're going to get recognized, but all that matters is that, like he said, you like and subscribe to the School of Hard Knocks. What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
In a single year, when I owned my other company, I put about 750,000 in my pocket.
And what was that company?
Called Cool Earth. I made mobile water drinking trailers. I invented it, first of all, and then the Ontario government and the BC government kind of helped me market it because I went to the Olympics with it.
For someone who may be struggling to find that winning product in their company, what advice would you tell them? Like, how did you go about finding that winning product?
I got lucky. I'd like to tell you that I was brilliant, and I went out and sought it and researched it. I went to a seminar. There was a product, there was a need in the market, and nobody was doing it. And so I thought, you know what, I'll take a chance. My son always tells me, he said, Dad, you swing big. And I always say, you're never going to hit a home run unless you take about 9 swings to get there. So that's it.
What is the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your lifetime?
Finance isn't about math, it's about choices. It's needs versus wants. We all want everything, but what do we need? Deal with that first, and then start working on your wants and what you can actually get from your wants while looking towards the future. It's choices, it's not math.
You crushed that, man. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that.
So deep?
How am I
going to follow that up? How do I follow that up?
You got it.
Trust me, this guy's brilliant.
I believe it.
Bro, I
He
bang
is.
nails for a living. Put that on there. I bang nails for a living. Let's get that out there.
So you bang nails for a living?
I bang nails for a living. I'm a contractor, and I do my thing.
You're a contractor?
Yeah.
And how long have you been in this industry for?
Goodness, I've been in it for 27 years right now. I started as a little boy with my dad doing, small renovations, stuff like that.
What's been your secret to sales throughout your career? How have you been able to consistently land big deals with big clients?
Always produce a perfect product. If you do great work, they'll find you.
It's that simple.
What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
And I can't say that in front of all these people, but let's just say I do well.
What would you say is the best financial advice that you ever received throughout your lifetime?
Look, you got to spend money to make money. It's that simple. You can't worry about spending a couple bucks because in order to advance, in order to get bigger, in order to create, you need to spend money. It's that simple, right?
Do you mean like invest back into the business?
Yeah, absolutely. You need top of the line tools. You need top of the line labor. The labor force is very important. You need good guys on your team. You'll grow that way for sure. You got to spend money to make money. And the best advice, I wish I knew 20 years ago, was hustle hard at the beginning. Hustle hard. Work on yourself, work hard, work long hours, do your thing, get into a gym, get your stuff together, get your shit together, and then sooner or later, it'll show.
My man, you guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate that.
Listen, you want to be successful, you got to find a good woman. I'll tell you right, put this on camera.
No.
Come here.
She's getting ready.
If you want to be
I'll
successful,
kill myself, that is okay.
you got to find yourself a good woman. And it's that simple, because they can make or break you. I'll tell you right now, my wealth has doubled because of this one.
Oh no, what about me?
No, you spend my money. We didn't even. You don't help me make it.
All right, you guys, that was a pretty cool snag. One of them was an Army vet, and he eventually invented a company called Cool Earth, where he made $700,000 in 1 year. The other guy was a contractor in the private sector and made hundreds of thousands of dollars in that industry. They both delivered some great value and some game. What do you think about them?
One thing I got from them is just, if you do something that you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. And seeing that those guys love what they do and both are really fulfilled in their careers, and that's just at the end of the day what we all want, man. Just be happy with what we do every day and be able to make a living and get fucking rich.
Time to go get the next one. Let's get it. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Finance,
And what are you doing exactly?
mortgage, personal loans, credit cards. We lend out money.
Are you a business owner?
Yes,
And how long ago did you start your business?
about 20 years.
I guess, what was the turning point like in your life that told you that you wanted to become an entrepreneur? Did you always know that you wanted to start your own business?
Yes.
Or, yeah?
100%. I always want to be my own boss. Don't want to work for nobody.
Right. What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
A single year, about 8 million.
8 million. For someone who's making 6 figures, right? And they
Yeah.
really want to try to get to 7 figures. What's the biggest mindset change, or what's the biggest thing they need to implement to their skill set and what they're doing?
Always work your butt off and learn how to delegate. To be an entrepreneur, you have to trust other people to do the job for you too. Because a lot of people like to, I can do it myself because they think that they're going to get more done by doing it themselves because they're afraid that somebody else is going to not do the same work as them. You got to learn how to trust people and delegate your responsibility to other people. And that's how you're going to grow a business to like 500, 600, 10,000 employees.
Right. You work in finance, so you probably oversee a lot of different industries and have a good mind for investing. Where do you think people should really be looking to put their money to try and multiply and grow their income in today's world?
I'm going to say this, not a lot of people are going to believe it. Crypto, like the cryptocurrency, invest in that right now. That's the new future.
Yeah. And for people that may not believe in blockchain or even understand it, like, what would you tell them? What would your message be for them?
We control it. The human like us control it. Banks control your money when it's in the bank. Like, let's just say, for example, you have more than $150,000 in your bank. If banks do bad, even if you had $1 million in that account, you only insured up to $150,000. So if they lost that other money, because they pay stocks, all your money's gone. Crypto is your own shit. You can't get it garnished. The government can't come after it. They can't take it from you. It's always yours.
For people that may struggle with sales in today's world, what's been your secret to sales as a business owner? How have you been able to consistently land clients throughout your career?
When it comes to sales, there's always something to sell. That world right there, that job right there, will never be out of business. Sales to me is the #1 job in the world because there's always something to sell. A doctor sells you, an attorney sells you. You go to a dentist, they can tell you to do other stuff. That's a sale. Everything in life is a sale.
And for maybe people that struggle with sales though, like what would you tell them? Like how can someone get better at closing?
They just gotta trust themselves, you know what I mean? And learn from the best. When you go into a company, ask the question, who's the top producer here? That's the guy you wanna sit next to.
Thank you so much for your time, bro. You got great advice, man. Really appreciate you, man. My man made $8 million in a single year. He came and dropped some serious gems, some real value for all the young entrepreneurs out there. Let's go get this next one. All right, you guys, we'll be back to the interviews in just a second, but I wanted to talk about how, as entrepreneurs, it's very common for us to always be on the go and be busy day in and day out. When we're out hustling and trying to close some deals and really build our businesses, it's really hard to fit in excess trips like going to the grocery store, then having to bring it all back to prep, cook, and clean it all up. That entire process can take hours, which could all be spent going back into the business. That's why I found that the most efficient solution and my go-to has been ordering from Factor Meals. They have an incredible variety variety of high quality fresh meals that are packed with amazing nutritious value and lots of protein. In our interviews, the most successful people emphasize that a healthy body keeps a healthy mind. Having strong physical and mental health really does correlate to success in the financial world. So it's critically important to maintain a healthy diet to fuel your body so that way you can stay sharp throughout the entire day. Factor offers so many options that make it easy to stick to my routine so I can crush my fitness goals. Whether it's a smoothie if I need a quick snack, or a protein-packed bowl with steak, chicken, or salmon after a great workout, Factor's always got me covered. This has been a game changer for my routine. So head over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HARDKNOCKS50 to get 50% off your first Factor box. Again, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code HARDKNOCKS50 for 50% off your first Factor box. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Hospitality, wines and spirits.
Are you a business owner?
Yes.
How long have you been a business owner for?
It took me 20 years to get into the shoes that I'm in today. And now that I'm, a partner or have minority stake in this brand, I'm actually back to where I was before when I started 20 years ago, which is selling account by account, bottle by bottle. Believe it or not, when you're a business owner, the real work begins where others end. It doesn't end at the sale, it's what you do. And if you're a small business, you have to roll up your sleeves and actually put in that actual work. It's not for everyone. Not everyone's built for that. But having worked and experienced with many brands that are actually being featured here today, I worked for Louis Vuitton for a long time and some other wonderful French conglomerates. Being able to represent a brand of my own and be able to actually fulfill a dream in that fashion and work hard for it is a dream come true. And that's why I'm here today, selling upstairs.
What has been the most amount of money that you ever made in a single year?
I can't put that on tape right now, but it was a good amount, let's just say that. Yeah. As an executive, it was extremely high. That was pre-COVID, but yeah, I got to enjoy a lot. But listen, it's about, you got to look at packages. You have to look at what looks good on paper for your resume if you're building your career, what features and benefits and opportunities for growth you have within that organization, if there's opportunity for equity, buying shares, etc. And most importantly, you got to get an awesome boss. You have to look at their credentials just as much as they scrutinize yours. And I happen to work with some industry titans that were multi-billionaires. I worked for 7. And so that experience that I gained from working for these individuals, I could never replicate in a lifetime. I was very fortunate on the steps of my career.
You've got some great advice,
Hey,
man.
brother.
Really appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
The channel is called The School of Hard Knocks. All right, you guys, we got a very special surprise for you. We're gonna be leaving the luxury shopping district for just a slight second to go interview Todd Napola. He manages over $1 billion worth of property and is the founder of one of the largest commercial real estate companies in all of South Florida. We're gonna ask him what it takes to become a millionaire in today's world. Let's see what he has to say. What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Commercial real estate,
And how long have you been in the business for?
25 years.
What was your first job when you came out of school?
My first job out of college was I got into investment broker sales, stockbroker, selling stocks.
So you started in finance.
Yep.
What was the turning point in your life that made you decide to go into real estate?
Financial independence.
How many assets under management do you currently have right now?
It's probably close to $1 billion worth of assets we have under management between stuff I own and stuff my clients own. It's a massive number, but the beauty with real estate is you don't value it every day because it's not like stocks that every day you could put on, your E-Trade account and see how much money is there. Real estate goes up and down. And if you're not worried about the fluctuation in prices day by day, you're going to do just fine. But you got to have patience.
What's the greatest lesson that you've learned throughout your career in real estate so far?
Patience is everything in real estate because the richest families in the world in real estate, we all say they're generational, of course, because they started buying real estate 100 years ago. But you got to be the one to start now. So I started 25 years ago, but imagine what it'll be in 100 years. I won't be here, so imagine what it'll be.
When it comes to the way that people look at money, what would you say is the biggest difference that separates the middle class from the wealthy?
Unfortunately, a lot of people in the middle class got stuck there. And in America today, it's my opinion that you're almost better off being really poor than middle class because there's a lot of benefits for the poor and the rich have all the privilege. The middle class kind of gets stuck there where they're not getting the free college for their kids or the free tuition and they're not getting financial aid and it's hard for them. But they kind of got stuck there because a lot of them were taught when you're very young that, listen, you're young, you go to school, you get a good job, you save money, you buy a house, you pay the house off, and then you retire with a pension. And that just didn't happen. And I think your generations figured that out, but my generation was sold a different story, and my parents' generation for sure. So the middle class kind of got stuck into that belief, and now a lot of them are in their 60s and 70s, and they're sitting there with no money, no resources, a Social Security which is anemic, and they're saying, oh my God, what did I do? So it's upon the young generation now to see this and know that's not going to work. So what used to work 100 years ago doesn't work today. You need to take responsibility for yourself.
What's the blueprint that you would say that is needed to become a millionaire and really get serious about becoming financially free?
I would be working very hard to see how I could add value to other people. And what I always say is find very wealthy people. So find the wealthiest people you could be around. And for example, I just told one of my kids I mentor, and I said he was a great salesperson, but he thought he was different than rich people. And I told him to get a job as a valet parker at a country club where he's parking fancy cars. And 3 months later, he realizes these rich people are no different. They tell the same jokes, they wear the same things, like you're no different. So first you got to believe, then figure out where you could add value. And yeah, you're going to work a lot harder than the kid who has a lot of privilege, but it's possible. It's very possible. And then look for people who made it from the absolute bottom like you, and there's a lot of them, who didn't get lucky and didn't, crack the internet code. Look for people who have done it and model those people.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for some amazing content coming soon, and click here to watch our full interview with Miami billionaire Grant Cardone.